Tiny Tots TV.
Once again, Sindbad left with a few other merchants for his next voyage. They traveled for many days. Sindbad was enjoying his journey. One day a storm made the sea wild and fearsome. Thunder, lightning, strong winds, and heavy rain made it difficult for them to sail. All the men and their goods were thrown into the ocean. They took the support of drums, wooden planks and whatever they could to save their lives. After a few days, they reached an island. They decided to explore. After a long walk, they found a fine house. Sindbad saw some people near the house and approached them for help. They offered Sindbad and the crew some food and drinks and were taken to their barn for taking rest. The next day they again offered them food to eat. They all slept again after eating. Sindbad and the crew only got up the next day. Sindbad became suspicious. Again they were given food and drinks. The same thing continued for days. All the crew members became fatter and fatter. Sindbad then realized the true intention of the tribal people, so he stopped eating. They were cannibals who ate humans. The men were fattened up to be eaten. When the other members were taken from the barn by the people, Sindbad was allowed to go as he was thin with little freshness. He walked and finally reached a magnificent city. Sindbad met the king of that city, and he explained everything to the king. The king was impressed with Sindbad's adventure and offered him a job. Sindbad worked there happily. One day the king called him and rewarded him with a beautiful and wealthy wife. Sindbad stayed in that country and continued his work. One day suddenly, his wife died of illness. The deceased person was dressed in the finest clothes and precious jewelry. Sindbad was shocked and didn't know what to do. The soldiers dragged Sindbad with his dead wife. They first lowered his wife, then the Sindbad down into the cavern, a deep hole under the ground, with a large jug of water and 7 loaves of bread. He looked around at the grim tomb. He decided to eat and drink as little as possible to prolong his life. And so he lived in the darkness among the bodies without knowing how many days and nights had passed. Suddenly Sindbad heard a rustling. It was a fox. He was happy he followed the sound. On the way, he collected many precious diamonds and jewelry. He saw a chink of light and crawled towards it. Sindbad found himself on the shore of the sea. He was so happy to see the ship that was loading goods. The captain and the crew gave a Sindbad ride to Baghdad. He traded some ornaments to the captain. After he returned to his house, he shared some with poor people.